We're here at CPAC again with another candidate, this one another Indiana Hoosier. We've spoken to a few Hoosiers here this week, and this is J.D. Miniear, and he's running for the 7th House District seat out of Indiana. Well, thanks for spending a little time with us. I always like to try to start off with, give us your stump. Give us your big deal, your big idea.
Why run? Well, one reason is the guy I'm running against. It's Andre Carson. And in our newly remapped Indiana 7th District, we're about 80% of Indianapolis now. And Andre is the one who, August 22nd last year at the Congressional Black Caucus, made his infamous speech and equated the Tea Party folks in Congress wanting to hang everybody from a tree.
Right.
And, well, we are against that.
I hope so.
Racial demagoguery. But we're really against his voting record, most strongly. And he's got a 0 ACU rating. Last year and the year before, he's got a lifetime ACU rating of 1.33. We just are pro-growth. We're Reagan conservatives with my campaign. Indianapolis is the home of Mitch Daniels, 2-term governor,
right.
A strong conservative, fiscal conservative. We're in the black. We have the highest bond rating of any state. And then we're friends with Greg Ballard. Once again, Indianapolis, 2-term, elected, conservative Republican. Highest bond ratings of any national city, large city in America, in the black. That's the kind of values that the people of Indiana District 7 prize and value. And Mr. Carson is just the diametrically opposite of that. He's really twinned with Barack Obama. He's hitched his wagon to Barack, and it's time to let him go.
Indeed it is. Well, obviously the big issues out there today are the economy. What are your thoughts on where we're going today?
Well, we're going the wrong direction right now, but a new fresh Reagan-esque revolution and another wave of Tea Party tsunamis. That's why we're here at CPAC, meeting with lots of folks that we want to partner up with in 2012 in the fall. But we're pro-growth, and that means flattening the taxes. That means getting rid of the regulators, rolling back the regulators. Oh, we want to repeal Obamacare, Dodd-Frank. So much has happened in the last few years since Pelosi took power. And now with Andre Carson, his last 2 terms, he was for cap and trade, the Dodd-Frank bill, Obamacare, both stimulus packages. He's against the pipeline. These measures have been detrimental to our economy. We're mired in anemic growth. I know it well in the mortgage industry. Last year was a record low in housing starts. And it starts with Fannie and Freddie. It starts with, he's on the banking committee. And it starts with repealing Dodd-Frank. It starts with opening up the capital markets. There's been 50,000 new pages added to the Federal Registry this year alone of new regulations. 5,000 are in the banking field. And we've got to turn it around. And we can. A new fresh start of congressmen and a new president, a new Senate, we can turn this around quickly. And you go then to the energy sector, energy independence. We prize. Barack Obama, at his last, I believe, at his last major speech, likes to point out, he says, America only has 2% of the world's resources. That's a Sierra Club old report from them. That's not right. Congressional Research Services last April did a study and published that we lead the world, and America leads the world in recoverable oil, gas, and coal. And it's time to drill, baby, drill. It's time to bring on the pipelines. And we'll do it conscientiously. We're not going to be awash in pollution. We're good stewards. Republicans and conservatives, we're great stewards of the land. But it's time for the left to get out and to be replaced by a new fresh crop.
Well, certainly we have all those issues that you mentioned, but there's a couple of issues in the news that I'd like to get your opinion on. And one is, of course, Obama's severe cuts in the military. What do you feel about that?
Well, I have a son at West Point. He's a senior cadet. And we're looking at cannibalization of parts, removing 11 divisions. In a time, I just got up this morning, had breakfast, and we read about now we need 20 more new bunker buster bombs, and we're the saber rattling from Iran. When America is weak, we project that to the nation and to the world, and we're not safer that way.
And you mentioned Iran.
Reagan said peace through strength.
Right, absolutely.
That's what we need.
And you mentioned Iran. Certainly our ally there, Israel, has been, kind of kicking around whether they should attack Iran over its nuclear program. How do you stand on that?
Well, I thought it was horrible that Leon Panetta, the defense secretary, he just spilled the beans. He says, well, no, we don't want them to do that. Well, they think they're going to do that. Well, you don't telegraph. I mean, Indianapolis just had the Super Bowl.
Right.
And where I'm from, and you don't telegraph that kind of thing. You don't tell how fast you're going to remove the troops, even in Afghanistan. It's the wrong message. It's bad leadership. We just watched John Bolton get interviewed here at CPAC. And those are the right ideas. It's safe, security through strength. America will be secure as long as our nation's military is well backed, and it's been terrible under the other Democratic presidents. Carter, everyone's talking around here. We remember Clinton. The cannibalization of parts, the weakening of our military has always made it a less safer world.
Well, I'd like to actually bring you back to home, back to Indianapolis itself. We've seen over the last year or two, I call them the flea baggers, the Democrats that are running away from your state house instead of going to work.
Oh.
What do you think about all that?
Well, it's interesting you brought that up. It was about a month ago downtown in Indianapolis, where our GOP club meets each month. Our state, Brian Bosman, he's our state majority leader,
Brian, yep.
and Long is our state senatorial leader. They were bringing that up because at that time we had not passed right to work, but we were looking at the specter once again of them fleeing to Illinois. And so I made a brief speech, but I said, and did some research, there's contempt of court, there's contempt of Congress. And if you go back a few years, in the last century, you can go to jail if you don't bring proper testimony or you refuse to testify. And, dereliction of duty, censoring those folks, impeach those folks. We were looking at a second year of this.
Right.
And it's total chaos. But finally, we were fortunate. We passed right to work, and I think that's going to be really strong for my district and for Hoosiers in general.
Yeah, that was a great law. I think I remember Brian was mentioning that they were possibly going to try to charge the Democrats $1,000 a day for not...
They passed that last year.
Okay.
But they were finding loopholes. Some of the Democrats
I'm
would
sure.
go for a few hours in the morning and then take off. But it finally, the chaos was averted, and we're thankful for that.
Well, we've seen quite a few great conservative things passed by Mitch Daniels and the GOP-led House there and Senate in Indiana. And unfortunately, Ohio hasn't been able to do quite as much, but Wisconsin has. So, me being from Illinois, I'd like to thank you for stealing all of our business and people. But this has been J.D. Miniear, and he's running for the 7th, right? The 7th House District, right?
In Indiana.
In Indiana. Give us your website or whatever information.
Well, it's pretty simple. Online, you can go to fireandrecarson.info or J.D. Miniear, M-I-N-I-E-A-R, forcongress.com.
Is that the letter 4 or the word 4 or the number 4?
F-O-R.
F-O-R. Okay, great. Thanks very much for spending some time with us here at CPAC, J.D.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sure enough.